And I'm also going to play the devil's advocate. As I said, I have some question stems here for you, but relating back to our earlier slide, and we talked about this last time, the idea of scaffolding. The stems are scaffolds. Eventually, we actually want to be able to operate without the scaffold there. So they're fabulous and there's some great ideas and they're really useful for getting students underway. However, over time, we want to remove that scaffold that students can generate the questions themselves.
And also another point we were discussing is that to develop the questioning first, so they start off with a very simple question, but then you keep encouraging them to develop that into a more complex question as well, and that just sort of happens naturally over the year, and they get quite good at it.
It's making the question relevant, because sometimes they'll ask a question and it had nothing to do with
Yes.
it. And then sometimes, like, you know, with the Munro stuff, you know, what do you think the text's got to answer? So they'll come up with questions and then getting quite disappointed when their questions weren't answered in the book, because they would look at the most minute thing. They had nothing, like, you know, the stories about a cat, but they were interested in the mouse down the bottom. They were asking questions about the mouse, that the mouse didn't come into context later on.
You've brought up two really important things there. It is good to generate questions that may not be answered in a text because it could lead to further discussion and further reading and further exploration. The other side of the coin to be aware of is a question that is actually within the realm of the learning and teaching that you're doing, not something obscure that is not really related or not really important. So, and that brings back to your concept about change over time. You don't want to see the same level of questioning, the same level of understanding. We want change over time. Yeah.
As a grown-up person, if you gave me a topic or a heading and you asked me to come up with questions, it's until I'm given further information that I'm able to make better predictions or better form my questions. So
Yes.
I think to start off would be really good, but as you give them, well, let's look at the pictures. Now are we on the right track with our questioning? Is there any that we can just automatically eliminate?
Yes. Yep. What other discussion was there? Other ideas?
Just with the visualising.
Put these webs on your table, they're I Wonder webs, or they're near your table. They might be at the front. They're on a chair or a spot near your table. Just share a few ideas with you. The concept of using a graphic organiser. And I'm going to suggest to you that these could be used as a partner activity before the reading. What would the advantage be, or why might we consider something like this before the reading as a partner situation?
Gives more children the opportunity to have a go at it rather than relying on those ones who may always put up their hand or, you know, comfort zone.
Beautiful. Because if we do it orally in a group, a whole class or small group, we often have the same children. This puts every child in the situation of being able to contribute and generate questions. Thanks, Flavia. Why else could we do it as a partner situation before the reading?
They're quite specific about who the partners are, in terms of you can match children that can support each other or children that can challenge each other.
That's right.
Or a child that can support another child that needs
Yes.
additional support. So you can actually use it in that way, or in the ESL classroom, children with less
That's right.
English or more English, you can actually help them,
Match.
which supports their oral language development too. So
Yes.
partnering gives you control as a teacher.
I forgot to say this before. When people are sharing, because you're facing this way, some of the others in the back of the room are having difficulty hearing. So if you could turn your body a little bit and also project your voice, and then at times I'll also restate to be sure that everyone can hear. But what Lynn was saying is quite correct. You can actually match the partners together should you wish to. An ESL student with a student with more proficient language. Also, you can match a student who... It's a scaffolded situation, isn't it? And you can scaffold in that way. Also, even if students choose their own partner, it is a social learning situation. Flavia's generating questions that I didn't think of. And it generates conversation between the students and generates that motivation about entering the text and finding out. Has anyone used... I'll come back to you in a minute, Helen. Has anyone used something like this before? And yes, and what did you find? What sort of response? Did you want to say something?
But it's what they use to...
Gives us information for directions that we might need to go in and the type of question we might need to, and thinking that we might need to support them in.